Hello, dear people of Earth. My name is Spirins, and today I'm gonna tell you something rather interesting. A side perspective of an observer. I don't wanna say that devil came to Estonia, but he really did this time. So, what exactly happened? Why are the Judgement days here? How did it happen? Well, let me quickly tell you. And keep in mind, this is not an opinion, but a feasible fact. This is not a subjective view of a situation. It's an objective truth, and you need to differ. If any government officials are watching this, click off because you're guilty, and you know it. Anyway, what is happening with all the scam calls in Estonia? You must have received these terrible calls of people pretending to call from Tervisekassa or from police departments, speaking nice Estonian, honestly, nice Estonian language at this point. It's not only in Russian language anymore, it's also in Estonian. It comes from different numbers that are real, but when you call back those numbers, guess who picks up? Not them. Because those numbers could easily just be, well, picked and chose using one simple PC program. Now, as always, I have a bit of insight into what's going on, and let me tell you, what is going on is not good. So what happened? Let me explain in a chronological order. 2021-22, Estonia puts on the Freedom Square flag of Ukraine with open hands because we prioritize European Union. We took those people in because they're fleeing war, which is scary. We saved them, right? We paid for them, we created accommodations for them, gave them jobs, and moreover, we sacrificed our own nation and our own economy because of that, because of our heavy involvement in external geopolitical conflicts. But besides all that, what else did we do with our tax money? How did we help Ukrainians with our tax money? We, as Estonian proud nation, we of course allowed them to assimilate in our country by teaching them Estonian language, which of course the taxpayer money once again paid for. But if you don't live under a rock, you probably heard that around a year ago, so today is the 1st of August 2025. So around a year and a half ago, there were news that a lot of Ukrainians are actually going back to Ukraine. They don't like Estonia. And it's not because Estonia is so bad. It's not. I love that country. It's a great country. Definitely nice to visit. The issue is that they just didn't seemingly have enough. And let me tell you why I'm saying this. There is no prejudice. There is no opinion. It's all objective truth. Not subjective to opinion. So, now they learned Estonian language with our tax money. Some of them went back to Ukraine, and guess what happened then? Around a year and a half ago, we started getting scam calls. And those calls, they're not coming from within Estonia, even though they're using Estonian numbers. If anyone can possibly track them, they're definitely not coming from Estonia. So where the fuck are all these calls coming from? Well, let me tell you, there are call centers in Ukraine. There are fucking teams of people working on both ends. And I'm just an observer. Let me clarify that. I have a great role of observing in this life, analyzing and spreading the truth. So, to recap this real quick, what happened is they learned Estonian, but not to assimilate in our country, to go back and keep siphoning money, but this time not out of Estonian government, but out of regular Estonian people, mostly elderly population. grandpas and grandmas. It could be 10,000, but it will be their last money. It could be 100,000, doesn't matter. They don't care who you are. They're calling from Ukraine to Estonia because they just didn't have enough, and they never will. European Union has sent 170 billion to that country, sacrificing everything, the very integrity of our economy. It's a small country. It's a small country. We barely are standing up. At least we were. Before, I'm not gonna name any names, but the person that was our president is now taking good high positions in Euro Parliament, because, well, somebody just sold the country. Anyway, this is the lesson everyone should learn. I think everyone should also, if they live in Estonia, should join a EKRE party, conservative Estonian party. Because that party actually prioritizes its own people, its own nation, its own country, its own economy, its own values, its own history, its own morals, for fuck's sake. Our country was sold, and not to your fault, dear viewer. It's not your fault. I strongly believe that you did that out of good intent, that you actually wanted to save those people with your hard-earned tax money. But yet, our taxes have been raised twice since the external geopolitical conflict has started. Twice. The first time it was exactly when Zelensky came and demanded 2%. And instead of refiguring the 20% that we already had as tax, we just added 2% on top of that. Not difficult to go figure, right? So who is to blame? Who is really to blame in this very situation? I strongly believe you shouldn't blame yourself, even though you voted. I know you did vote. And the smartest thing is to never vote, is to not feed into this elaborate, carefully built system, and just not fuel the fire. So somehow, miraculously, just a year ago, I managed to escape all this chaos and mayhem that was going on in Estonia, or started going on in Estonia. And I promise you, it's not getting better, it's only getting worse for that country. So if you want to do something good to save that country, please join EKRE. That's the only good thing you can do. Research, do your own research, look at numbers, look at statistics, because that matters, facts matter. But also, God save Estonia, and God save you all, wicked people.